Music brings us together, even when we're apart. That's why we support Canadian musicians, festivals, and award shows. It's just one of the ways TD's Ready commitment helps build a more inclusive tomorrow.
Premium quality hand sanitizer is now available from Greenish, the brand you trust. It is made with 75% food-grade ethanol and is approved by Health Canada. For further information, visit your neighborhood pharmacy or www.greenish.com.
Hello everybody, welcome to TD Mosaic Noon Talks, presented by TD Bank, supported by Canadian Community Arts Initiative. It's a production and presentation of CCAI. My name is Asma Mahmood and I'm the Artistic Director of CCAI. On behalf of the board and the chair of CCAI, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Canada Council, Ontario Arts Council, Heritage Canada, Factor Canada, City of Mississauga, Province of Ontario, Celebrate Ontario Grants, Greenwich Health Products, our sponsors, and Lazy Shawarma. Today, as always, we are celebrating our 15th anniversary celebration through this 3-month-long program where we are presenting the amazing alumni of Mosaic Festival of last 14 years. Today, I'm very excited and very happy to welcome a person who presented his beautiful performance at Mosaic Festival last year. And he was our featured artist with Berklee College of Music, performing for the first time in Mississauga Celebration Square. None other than amazing and wonderful Vijay Prakash. Thank you so much for joining us, Vijay. How are you doing? How is everything with you?
Thank you, Asma, for having me on this lovely show that you're doing, featuring so many artists. And it's such a pleasure being on this show. Thank you so much. I'm doing very well. Yeah, we are all living in very different times, but I guess we are all getting used to this new norms. But God is great. He's taking care of the whole planet. Little changes, I think, is just,
I know. And you are in Bangalore right now, as we were talking earlier, you said.
Yeah.
So how is Bangalore? How is the weather?
The weather is so good. It's kind of raining, and then, I live on a small hilltop, so it's like probably 60 floors from the ground level. It feels amazing to be here. So I'm here with my family, my wife, my daughter, and my mother. So 3 ladies, they kind of pamper me with good food, with good thoughts. My daughter pampers with some new series that she watches. So we watch them together. It's so much fun.
Excellent. What's the new TV show that you are hooked on?
The many, actually. I think I finished with Money Heist, and then there were a couple of good Indian series that came. So,
yes.
बहुत सारे देख रहे हैं, सब मिलके देख रहे हैं, movies देख रहे हैं.
What's the biggest difference that you feel in your daily routine 3 months ago or 4 months ago and today?
Yeah, I guess nobody ever expected something like this would come and just, come from nowhere, and then the life would suddenly change. It started off on a very, very low note, but as we progressed through these COVID times, and I think somewhere I personally realized every story is different, but for me it came as a blessing in disguise because जो भागम दौड़ जो चल रहा था, इस बीच में कहीं ना कहीं I was missing being with my family, being with my just that whole essence of life I was missing. So I think for me personally, this has been an amazing time to spend more time with family, doing a lot of other things, not just music, because I personally feel that everything eventually becomes music for me. But emotionally, I need to spread myself to as many genres of life itself, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's yeah. We have.
I saw an interview of yours, and honestly, I've never seen any Indian or Pakistani singer talk about his wife the way you did. Apparently, there's a project that you guys did together, your wife and you, as just like that, and then it became a pretty big thing. Can you talk a bit about that? Because that is a lovely thing.
ना एक्चुअली एक प्रोजेक्ट तो वैसे लाइफ ही एक बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है जो हम दोनों साथ में निभा रहे हैं सो आई मीन इट वाज वंडरफुल बिकॉज व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माय करियर इन मुंबई 95 96 she used to be a very reputed voice dubbing artist, and then I was like a total stranger to that city at that point. Of course now I have a lot of friends, family, everything, but she was the one who kind of looked at me and she felt, I think this guy needs a hand. This guy needs a shoulder to, lean on. So I think she came, she walked into my life when I think I was desperately in need of another human being in my life. So, and it turned out to be a beautiful relationship later on. And then, of course, we got married. Whatever I do, I think she needs to approve it first. And then whether it's a song, whether it's whatever it is, but I will I want to share it with her first, because I know she's the most genuine well-wisher to me.
Absolutely. And then one day, let me do the story. One day you were singing something and she took a camera and she made a video, and then she made this whole song video for you, which she directed and recorded herself as well.
You have followed that story too. I'm so happy. Yeah, it was. We were in Iceland. We were on a holiday in Iceland, and मैंने एक गाना बनाया था कायनात. So she felt कायनात is such a beautiful. I mean the song itself, and then to be shot in Iceland, which is nothing but a beautiful piece of earth, which is untouched. It is still so untouched, and it is so beautiful. So she shot a video on her iPhone. She edited it herself, and then we, posted it, and people loved it. Yeah.
I absolutely. It's such a beautiful piece of work. And people, when they're working like this with their partners, I think there's a certain sincerity which comes through because of the relationship as well, which is really admirable. And that is what I felt when I was standing on stage and you'd done your sound check and everything, and you were about to come on stage for your final performance. And I looked down and suddenly I see this really handsome guy wearing a beautiful pink kurta and pajama. And I was like, oh my God, I finally find an Indian who knows how to wear a pink color. South Asians, men are so scared of wearing, these colors. And you rocked it. You looked amazing, so handsome, so good, with such a great presence on stage. And I was really happy. And then what you did for us, you did one more thing for us. You brought us Tamil audience. And honestly, Vijay, I have so much respect for this Tamil audience. They are the best. They support their artist. If they know the artist can sing even one line of Tamil, they will come and support that artist. So thanks to you, we got great Tamil audience.
That evening, yes, we had, I have to mention, there were Tamil audience and there were Kannada audience. Both of them came in huge numbers, and they kept, requesting their favorite. And I did sing a couple of them. Whenever I've been to Toronto, especially to perform for any Tamil, radio or any organization, it's always been huge numbers, and they kind of, especially the Sri Lankan Tamilians come and they really support music and artists. And of course, I'll be, I was supposed to perform on June 14th for a Kannada organization, which unfortunately got postponed. I'm coming next year on the same day. But music lovers.
So you've got a person here, Jasmine Rathore. He's a wonderful singer, and he didn't go to work today to attend this talk. Thank you, Jasmine.
Rathore, thank you so much for joining us, and I would love to sing. Such gentle soul is what he's saying. Wow, I'm like so happy already. Thank you so much, Jasmine ji. Thank you so much.
And Naram Jamal and Samina Talat, amazing supporter, and she loves your music. So
thank you.
Yeah. So I see that you have your friend there with this beautiful drum. Let's
I
have
would
the
like to
introduction.
introduce a friend of mine, Gopi Shravan, who is going to be playing little percussion because मुझे लगा हम वैसे भी गाने वाले हैं तो why not present it in whatever possible way कि एक साथी हो साथ में
Lovely.
जो ऐसे म्यूजिशियन हो तो और मजा आ जाएगा
तो
तो
क्या
या
सुनाने लगे आप हमें?
आप जो कहें आप जो कहें
अरे भाई आपके इतने प्यारे प्यारे गाने. Well, let's start with something that अभी हमारे पास थे आए हुए थे पिछले मंडे को we had the interview with the amazing Kailash Kher. So let's hear something that you think you would like to dedicate to Kailash Kher.
Why not? Yeah, Kailash ji, one of the finest singers we have in India, and we are so proud of him. तो एक कुछ क्लासिकल अंदाज से कुछ गाऊं
प्लीज
बाद फिल्म के गाने गा सकते हैं
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल प्लीज
तो एक जैसे मैंने जब हम आए थे बर्कली के साथ आई वांट टू मेंशन a special mention about Berkeley Indian ensemble that I collaborated last year at the Mosaic festival. It was so much fun और उनके साथ मैंने ये परफॉर्म किया था. मेरा ही गाना है जो मैंने गाया था युवराज फिल्म के लिए A.R. रहमान साहब का जो म्यूजिक था और उसमें मैंने गाया था मनमोहिनी एंड आई वुड लाइक टू डेडिकेट दिस टू कैलाश जी एंड ऑल द लवली ऑडियंस इन टोरंटो. तो he's going to play a very special instrument. मुझे पता नहीं अगर आपने देखा हो पहले. It's called morching. So it's something like this.
Oh, okay.
It's something like this, and you have to listen to the sound that it produces.
How interesting. Of course.
He's going to accompany me on that.
Okay.
Gama pani ni sa Gama pani sa ni da ba ma ga ma pani da ba ma ga ni sa ma pa ga sa ga ma pa ga ma ni da ba ma ga ni sa ma ga ri sa ni ga pa ni sa tum tum tana tum tum tana tum tum tana tana na 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 tum tum tana tum tum tana tana na tana na tana na tana na tum tum tana tum tum tana tum tum tana tana na 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 tum tum lat ol ji सुलझा जा वालम लट उलझी सुलझा जा वालम माथे की बिंदिया माथे की बिंदिया बिखर गई है अपने हाथ सजा जा भलम लट उलझी सुलझा जा बालम मन मोहिनी मोरे मन भावे मन मोहिनी मन भावे मन मोहिनी pama pa pa pama pa pa pama pa pa pama pa pa pama ga pa pa pama ga pa pa pama ga ma pa pama ga ma pa ni da pama pa ni da pama ga ri da pa pa ga ga ri ni da ga ri ni da ga ri ni da ma ga ri da ni da ga ma pa da ni da pama ga ma pa ni da ni da 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 ni da da ni da ga ri da ni da ga ri da ni da pama pa ni da pama pa da ni da pama ga ri da ni sa ga pa pa ni da pa ma ga re sa ga ni sa ga ma pa Pazadita pama bagababa. Sagama nisagamaba. Mabagamaba. Sagapama nizamaga. Panigaza. Saniza, Saniza, Gazaga, Saniza, Saniza, Gazaga, Gazaniza, Gazaga, Gazaniza, Gazaga, Zaniza, Gazaga, Zaniza, Gama, 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 Gazaga, Mama, Gama, Baba, Gama, Banida, Baba, Bani, Nida, Baba, Banisa. Da 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 ni da 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 ni da 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 ni 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 da ga ni da ni da ga ni da ni da ba 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 ni bani da 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 ni da da ni da da ni da da ni da ba 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 da ni da ba ma ga ri da ni da ba ga ri da ni da ba ma ba ni da ga ri da ni da ga ba ba ga ba 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 ga ma ba ni da ba ma ba ni da 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 ni da 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 ni da da ni da da ni da da ni ga ri da bani ga ri da ma ba ni da ga ri da ga ri da ga ri da ga ri da ni ba ri da ni da ba ga ri da ni da ga ma ga ma da ga ma ga ma za ga ma da ga ma ba ni za ga ma ba ni za ga ma ba ga ma ba ni ba ba ni da ni ga ri da ba ni ga ri da ma ba ni da ga ri da ga ri za ni da ga ri da ni da ga ri da ni da ri da ni da ba za ni da ba ma za ga ma ba ga ma ba ni ba ba ni za ni ga ri da ni da ba ga ri da ga ma ba.
Wow. वाह बहुत 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 ही खूबसूरत हाउ ब्यूटीफुल इट इज सो इनक्रेडिबल मुझे मुझे ये बताओ कि तुमने क्लासिकल जब गाना तुमने किस उम्र में गाना सीखना शुरू किया
मैं वैसे हूँ मैसूर से मैसूर इज वन ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस इन कर्नाटका इन द सदर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया आई वाज बोर्न एंड रेज्ड इन मैसूर इन अ very traditional classical Carnatic classical musicians family. My grandfather Sri Lakshmipati Bhagavatar was a Harikatha and a classical musician. Both my parents, Sri Ramasesha, Sri Lopamudra, Srimati Lopamudra, they were also classical musicians. So it was very organic for me to, get into a very musical atmosphere as a child. And I think I was 5 years old probably when I started off, singing classical. 5 साल का था जब मैंने शुरुआत की एंड या
तो शौक से किया ये नहीं कि पिटाई शटाई हुई कि नहीं तुम शुरू करो क्योंकि फैमिली की परंपरा है और
मजा ये था कि क्योंकि मुझे बचपन में ना इस सरगम गाने का बड़ा शौक था टीवी पर अगर कोई जैसे वॉशिंग पाउडर निरमा अगर कोई जिंगल बज रहा तो मैं पापा मामा गागा सा सा रे रे गा तो मैं घर पे ना एक एंटरटेनर था कोई भी मेहमान घर पे आए तो मम्मी पापा कहते थे अच्छा बेटा अभी वो सरगम सुना ना तो जो मेहमान आए हैं वो कोई ऐसा मतलब they used to sing any jingle and I used to sing sargam so that was fun for me that was the participation was so beautiful and I felt this is what I am I'm nothing but music and I have to take music as my life
हाँ एक और मुझे चीज जो मैं बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग मुझे लगती है वो ये that in south of India people are extremely educated it's not that if you're just into singing you have even in that you do complete your education in that singing you complete your it's just not the ustad relationship with the ustad and informal education it's formal education the whole thing process there so while going through your formal education what kind of subjects were you interested in where you did something ever crossed your mind that you want to do something else for in terms of degree or something
I know. So it's I got a free seat in engineering in a college, but I guess somewhere there was a very serious drive in me, and that was just music and nothing but music. And I felt I was 19 probably, and I felt nothing else. I'm able to
process.
My mind was process. There was no retention for anything else except music. So I decided. This is what I need to do. And luckily it worked for me in the sense I went to Mumbai, then I started learning from Sri Suresh Wadkar ji. And then, that whole journey as a musician was more, was the actual education that I wanted to do. But having said that, I always, if I see any upcoming youngster, I always tell them that, try to complete your education and get into whatever you want. Because later on in my life, I realized education is not just, to get a job. It helps you to, generally decode life. When you have a good education, it helps you to decode life. But of course, experiences also teaches you. So
So
that's
true.
it.
And when you were working with Pandit, your teacher in Mumbai, what was it that he found about your voice? Because I'm so impressed. It's such a deep, it's such a timber voice. It has this depth. It has a bass in it, and for that voice to develop and transform into a musical, and thing, isn't that more challenging than the voice which has, timber and which is high pitched? What were the challenges as a bass voice singer?
ये जब आवाज बहुत भारी हो जाता है, when you have a very baritonish timbre, it's like, taking care of an elephant. It's like, matlab, it's a big job. But having said that, it has its own, उसकी एक खूबसूरती है. But it's just that, how you package it, how you bring it out for people, makes the whole game. And I realized at some point that, yes, बहुत सारे जो गाने होते हैं जो बहुत हाई पिच के होते हैं, वो मैं गा नहीं सकता हूँ. पर उसी गाने को मैं अपने अंदाज से पेश कर सकता हूँ.
For example?
For example, अभी जैसे मतलब बहुत सारे गाने हैं. I mean, अच्छा सवाल पूछ लिया आपने. कोई भी हाई पिच वाला गाना, अभी कैलाश साहब के हम बात कर रहे थे ना, तो he has a lovely high pitch voice, and उनका जो टिम्बर होता है, तेरी दीवानी दीवानी तेरी दीवानी दीवानी करके उतना हाई पिच में होता है. और जब वो गाते हैं बहुत खूबसूरत लगता है, बिकॉज उनकी आवाज में वो जो है ना इमोशन, दैट इज वेरी प्लीजिंग. बट इफ आई सिंग लाइक दैट, लोगों को लगेगा कि भाई ये चिल्ला क्यों हो रहा है. तो अगर मैं उसको तेरी दीवानी दीवानी तेरी दीवानी दीवानी,
so you just make it so sensuous that everybody will fall down. And that's the point I was about to make, that your voice is so sensuous. It is powerful where it needs to be, but it is sensuous. It is very beautiful to feel. It goes, it works on many levels. And that's what is good, that you are able to understand that quality of your voice and then create the songs like that. I mean, I listen to Sati and I'm blown away.
Every musician is blessed by something that is unique, that God gives them. कि ऐसा नहीं कि ऊपर वाले ने किसी को अच्छा कुछ दे दिया और किसी को खराब कुछ दे दिया. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. अगर if he's given you talent, there is one hidden secret that he gives with your talent. You have to find out what that is and then present your art with so much of conviction, with the uniqueness that you have. You may have a bass voice, you may have a high-pitched voice, or you may have a very unique timbre. And today times are very different. Luckily, people kind of accept. There was a time when it used to be only conventional voices that that was appealing to people. Now, thanks to the new age audience who listen to all kinds of music, the audiences are so updated than the artist itself. So it is a great time to be, and people can, try out new things with whatever they have, and then reach to people.
Absolutely. And this is one more thing. I mean, people would listen to your voice and they'd say, oh, this is a radio voice, because there is a special quality of voice which we used to associate with radio. So you have that voice. So, there are these things which you're supposed to do with these people, and you say, okay, because you have such a nice, sexy, deep voice, we want you to read a recipe book or something like that. So do you get requests to do the e-reading or things like that?
There was a time when I went to Mumbai in 95, 96. I started off my career as a dubbing artist. That's where I met my wife, and I'm not exaggerating. I would have done more than 10,000 ads where I gave my voice.
Amazing.
पेश नया Colgate अब ज़्यादा you know uh, जल्दी कीजिए मुफ्त. So I've done a lot of such dubbing work in Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, and I used to sing jingles also at the same time. Those days, yeah, dil mange more, all that series. So many of those jingles. McDonald's was launched with my jingle. ICICI Bank jingle I used to sing. So I used to do a lot of such voice-oriented work where the artist is not seen, just the voice reaches out to people. But somewhere I felt, क्योंकि हर बार मैं जब घर जाता था मेरे दोस्त मुझसे कहते थे अरे भाई तू करता क्या मुंबई में. And I used to tell them ये अभी जो टीवी पर आया ना वो आवाज मेरा है, वो आवाज मेरा. And they used to say अच्छा पर कभी तुम फिल्मों में नहीं गाओगे. And that's when I'm so glad people like A.R. Rahman साहब came to my life, and they just changed the
How
whole.
did that happen?
वो तो मतलब एक होता है ना कि सबका जो भी जितने भी सिंगर्स हैं उन सबके मन में ना एक 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 प्रेयर होता है कि हमें कभी रहमान साहब के साथ काम करना है. और मेरा भी आई थिंक प्रेयर बहुत ज्यादा पावरफुल था. एक दिन मुझे फोन आया आशुतोष गोवारिकर जी के ऑफिस से. स्वदेश जो मूवी था शाहरुख खान साहब ने जो उस पे उन्होंने काम किया, उस मूवी के लिए गाने के लिए एक आई गॉट अ फोन कॉल सेइंग दैट रहमान साहब वांट्स टू ट्राई योर वॉइस फॉर अ सॉन्ग. And the recording is happening in Panchgani, which is about 6 hours from Mumbai. It's a hill station, and I was wondering why would Rahman Saab call me to a hill station? But nevertheless, it's for Rahman Saab. Even if it's a prank, so even somebody's playing a prank, I'll still give it a shot. करके मैं गया, I drove six hours and reached Panchgani to see Rahman Saab was actually in the hotel. और मैं दिन भर मेरे कमरे में रुका था और रात को मुझे फोन आया कुछ 10 साढ़े 10 बजे, रहमान साहब आपको बुला रहे हैं. और मैं डर से चुपके से ऐसे उनके रूम में गया. The moment I opened the door, it was a very small little room where he had set up his microphone, he had his whole studio set up. And उसी छोटे से कमरे में शाहरुख खान साहब बैठे हुए थे, आशुतोष गोवारिकर जी बैठे हुए थे, जावेद अख्तर साहब बैठे हुए थे, रहमान साहब थे. It was like यार मैं एक को हैंडल नहीं कर पाऊंगा और इतने सारे दिग्गज बैठे हैं यहाँ पर. But it was a great experience. It was a great moment, and and I sang a lot of the Tamil songs too. And उसके बाद हमने मतलब होसाना ऐसे बहुत सारे गाने थे. I would love to sing one song that I sang for him since you were mentioning about Tamil audience.
Please.
एक गाना है होसाना. ஏன் இதயம் உடைத்தான் நொறுங்கவே என் மறுஇதயம் தருவேன் நீ உடைக்கவே. அந்த நேரம் அஞ்சு நேரம் கண் பார்த்து கண்டலாகி போன நேரம் ஏதோ ஆச்சு. வானம் தீண்டி வந்தாச்சு, அப்பாவின் திட்டி எல்லாம் காற்றோடு போக போச்சு. ஹொசானா என் வாசல் தாண்டி போனாலே, ஹொசானா வேறொன்றும் செய்யாமலே நான் ஆடி போகிறேன், சுக்குநூறாகிறேன். அவள் போன பின்பு எந்த நெஞ்ச தேடி போகிறேன். ஹொசானா வாழ்வுக்கும் பக்கம் வந்தேன். ஹொசானா சாவுக்கும் பக்கம் நின்றேன். ஹொசானா ஏனென்றால் காதல் என்பேன். ஹொசானா.
How beautiful. It's lovely. It's something that I feel, I might be wrong, but I feel that, A.R. Rahman made such beautiful compositions, and now the tradition has, we brought in a tradition of, because Tamil sounds to our ears, it sounds a very different kind of sound. Hard sound, as a matter of fact, but the songs become so sensuous. They become so beautiful and soft and all. So it's a great feeling. Maybe it's just mine, but that's how I feel. That makes the Tamil songs really sound beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's all, yes, the language for sure, and the composition, and South ka apna ek, every language in the South has its own beauty. If I sing in Kannada, ಬೊಂಬೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೈತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೈತೆ ನೀನೇ ರಾಜಕುಮಾರ ಹೊಸ ಬೆಳಕೊಂದು ಹೊಸಿಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಬೆಳಗಿದೆ ಮನೆಯ ಮನದೊಳಗಿಂದು ಆರಾಧಿಸೋ ರಾಜರತ್ನನು. So it's like gulab jamun. And I just sang Tamil and even Telugu for that matter is very, very beautiful, you know.
I just heard Kannada, and it sounds like it doesn't have too many tears in it. It has a more smoother flow of
flow to
language.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
जो अलग एक मजा है.
Absolutely, it's so incredible. All these languages, and there are languages, and we don't bother to listen to them, to those songs and all, and they're totally magical. Talking about magic, Sati, oh my God, what a great song! It's such an incredible, it's an operatic composition. It is so
जो अलग एक
grand. And I love that. All these languages, there are languages, and we don't bother to listen to them. To those. Okay, why am I listening to this? Okay, okay. I'm getting some back sound. Anyways, before we launch into Sati, I have your surprise right there for you.
Oh my God!
Our wonderful friend Clint Valaderas is here from.
Hey, this is a total surprise, Vijay. Asma, I can't begin without saying how proud I am of my dear friend and brother, Vijay Prakash. I mean, and the great musician behind him, I shouldn't say behind him, with him. You guys are fantastic, but Vijay, just every time I hear him, I get goosebumps. And it's a tough act to follow. You should have had me first.
No, I wanted to surprise Vijay Prakash because when we contacted Clint, and we've been talking to Clint for quite some time for Berkeley College, and then last year we got a devastating cut in our funding, and suddenly we were like, oh gosh, we were already talking to him about the Berkeley Ensemble. Because, of course, as you can read, I hope everybody can read that he is the senior director of Berkeley College in ensemble, and so Clint decided that you should be the artist. Clint said, I will get you an artist you guys are going to love. And you have never heard him, so you better listen to him. And he played Sati and Manmohani, and we were just like floored because it was so beautiful. So I want to bring in Clint because I want Clint to talk about Vijay Prakash and why did Clint suggest Vijay Prakash to us?
Well, thank you, Asma, and you are very kind. Before I go to talk about Vijay, I should mention Arshad Mahmood and Asma, who are innovators. You guys are entrepreneurs who've changed the face of global music. Seems like Mosaic is not just a festival in Toronto anymore. It's bringing the world to Toronto through South Asian music. You'll have put it on the map. And to have artists like Vijay Prakash and many others that you'll have had over the years takes a village, and you guys do it so well. I have stayed till 2 a.m. watching you all work, and the work ethic brings out artists like Vijay to be there. So kudos to you all. I don't know what to say about Vijay because when I met Vijay through a dear friend named Clinton Sareo, who's a fantastic artist who I think will be at Mosaic at some point. And Clinton has this phenomenal band called Sure Police, but he had another band called Anantal, which Vijay is still a part of. And when he introduced me to Vijay singing, now everyone's used to Vijay singing the big hits like Jai Ho and Manmohini, and he's sung on every commercial. And after you sing with Mr. A.R. Rahman, where do you go? But Vijay keeps reinventing himself, and the music that he's done with Clinton and Gino Banks and various other international artists, showcases not just his ability as a musician, as a person, but his zest for learning and his hunger for learning. So, the Berkeley Indian Ensemble was founded by my dear friend and colleague Annette Phillip, who's a phenomenal artist in her own right. Uh, and when we were looking for an artist, we'd had, I think at the time we had Clinton, we had A.R. Rahman perform with the Berkeley Indian Ensemble and the Berkeley Indie Exchange. And then we were like, who do we bring next? Now, after having Mr. A.R. Rahman, you have to bring a solid singer who can really kill it. And the choice was Vijay Prakash. And after him, we've had, Shankar Mahadevan and Shreya Ghoshal and Mr. Zakir Hussain, and goes on and on and on. But Vijay just came and mesmerized everybody. And that's why I said, where got to find a location where we can bring all these different cultures together, which was the South Indian culture, the North Indian culture, Vijay's pink outfit with Killen Berkeley Indian Ensemble, and that's what happened at the Mosaic Festival. And I'm really privileged to have been a part of that in a little small way, but Vijay just stole the show.
No, but you know what, Clint, something that I would like to add at this point. Yes, of course, collaborating with Berkeley Indian Ensemble was such an amazing moment for me to be in Boston and to see the whole facility where every corner is filled with so much of music, a very, very pure intention of people coming from different parts of the world and, just dedicating their life to music. And Clint beautifully blends people from different culture and brings them under Indian ensemble. But most importantly, when I came to Mosaic, of course, I knew that I'm going to have Clint and the Berkeley Ensemble. But meeting all of you, whether it's Arshad or you, Asma, and your whole team, I think the best part about Mosaic is, of course, it's a very successful festival and people love coming. But I think the secret to your success is the warmth that you all have. The warmth is so beautiful. It's so genuine. I mean, you love artists. You want to pamper them. Wherever I walked, there was somebody making sure that the artists are comfortable. The artists get what they want. And I had a great time performing at Mosaic, and the audience. Wow, what an amazing audience we had that night.
Yes, I want to piggyback on that, Asma and Arshad. Just your love for young people. Your love providing a platform for young people to showcase their talent. And when Vijay came to Berkeley, and these young people have heard him on all these phenomenal songs and ads and being an icon in India, and they get to perform with him, and Vijay sharing his knowledge, talent, and his humility, spending time with them. And that's what we were looking forward to doing, to continuing that relationship at Mosaic. And you and Arshad are family now. It's not everybody who comes there is part of the family. That's the difference between your festival and everything else that happens. And that's why I think the city of Toronto and Mississauga supports you so much. And kudos to you guys and all the blessings in the world going forward. Fortunately, Berkeley is a place, it's a contemporary music school for the performing arts. And at Berkeley, we transform arts education and empower artists to better our world. And we want to continue to create an ecosystem where young people can come together, share their musical traditions, technology, innovation, collaborations, and build a community to better our world. And artists like Vijay, Mr. A.R., Mr. Shankar, Ms. Shreya Ghoshal, Zakir Hussain, all these phenomenal people, and there are so many more, Mr. Clinton Serejo and his band, they've been so good to us. They've always given their time, effort, energy, and this is what makes our village really prosper. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Clint. That's these are such lovely and such inspiring words. We can't wait for this time to get over so that we can start planning for our outdoor festival. So thanks a lot. I know you have an important call to take. Any parting short love?
Well, Vijay owes me probably 60% of all his earnings lifetime forever, because I just want to be that fly on the wall that's always like, hey Vijay, what about this? Hey Vijay, what about that? But
That's
he's my inspiration and a dear friend, and that's what I love about him. I didn't want to call him for the last couple of weeks just because I didn't want to tell him I was going to be on this.
Yeah, oh, good.
It was
Yeah,
last week,
because
but
he
I
was
didn't
asked,
want to.
who's the surprise? I said, well,
no,
surprise is
but
a surprise.
you know what? Because Clint was the guy, first person to talk to me about this. Just before going live, I think just about 2 minutes before going live, he was the last person that I tweeted saying that, hey, Clint, I'm going live, by the way. Hoping that if wherever he is, he can just, get a glimpse of it. But I never expected that you're going to be actually live and talking to me. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And the feeling is mutual for everything that you've done. I'm so grateful to you. And
Clint
what
would have
can I
stuck around, but he has a call at 1 o'clock, so I'm
say?
going to let
No, no,
Clint.
no. You, if I stick around, Vijay's not going to sing. Let him sing. We need to hear more music. Much love.
Thank you so much, my love.
Thanks, Clint.
We'll be in touch.
Take care, guys.
Bye, Clint.
you
So,
so much.
Vijay, it was a surprise. And just to reaffirm what Clint was saying about your talent and about your ability, the outreach, I was talking to you about Sati, that how incredible that performance is. If anybody has not seen it, please go and watch it. It's such a great performance. And so many, and you did it at Mosaic Festival. It was just, I had chills running up my back. Arshad loves it. It's one of his favorite songs. And this kind of music, this operatic quality of music, how does that happen? How does that come around?
Yeah, luckily it was for Coke Studio, and Coke Studio has been a platform where a lot of experiment has happened. A lot of Indian folk got fused beautifully into Western or classical. And talking about Sati especially, it was Salim Suleiman who beautifully designed it, and we had Tawfiq Qureshi Saab, also joining on the track. And I was doing some chants and then using my baritone. We were talking about baritone, and the song is all about the baritone. And we have platforms, and especially nowadays, it's a great time. As I said, a lot of experiment we can afford to do, and there are people who are willing to listen to. There was another show where I performed with Ajay Atul recently, where they had rearranged a retro number of Kishore Kumar Saab, and then it was presented beautifully. So I think the times are changing. The scene is getting bigger, and artists are able to do a lot of experiment and reach out to people.
So anything special that you would like to perform right now for our audience?
हम बात कर रहे थे हम ये कॉन्वर्सेशन शुरू करने के पहले हम बात कर रहे थे नुसरत साहब के बारे में.
Oh, yes.
तो मैं एक गाना उनका गाऊंगा जो मुझे बहुत बहुत ज्यादा पसंद है. Sagama pada ni dama dama gare ga saga sadha ni sagare gare sare nere sadha ma sa. अब क्या सोचे क्या होना है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा. अब क्या सोचे क्या होना है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा. पहले सोचा होता पागल, पहले सोचा होता पागल, अब रोने से क्या होगा. अब क्या सोचे क्या होना है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा. यार से गम कह कर तो खुश हो, लेकिन तुम ये क्या जानो यार से गम कह कर तो खुश हो, लेकिन तुम ये क्या जानो तुम दिल का रोना रोते हो, तुम दिल का रोना रोते हो, वो दिल में हंसता होगा, अब क्या सोचे क्या होना है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा, जो होगा अच्छा होगा, जो होगा अच्छा होगा।
वाह भाई, बहुत खूब।
Especially in these times, जब ऐसा लग रहा है कि यार आने वाला कल कैसा होगा,
हाँ,
तो मैं
बिल्कुल
तो यही कहना चाहूँगा, जो होगा अच्छा होगा।
भाई।
So,
You just chosen a very good song for that. Very nice, beautiful. मुझे ये बताओ कि I've always been very curious about this thing. Karnataka music जो है, what is the difference between the Karnataka music and the North Indian जो classical music है? इसकी basic, इनकी जून में क्या फर्क तुम समझते हो है?
जी, मतलब ये देखो, मैं कोई अपने आप को एक्सपर्ट तो नहीं कहना चाहूँगा इस बारे में, फिर भी मैं अपना जो पर्सनल जो मेरा व्यू पॉइंट है वो मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि in the South Indian music system there's a very important aspect called gamakas. We call it as gamakas, and that is जैसे मतलब कोई भी राग, अभी यमन अगर हम लेते हैं जो हिंदुस्तानी में अब इसी राग को अगर हम साउथ इंडियन स्टाइल में अगर कोशिश करें, it's more like an instrument.
Yes.
And Hindustani approach is more vocal oriented. And it gets a little more gamaka in the south. So बेसिक जो गमकाज है, जो हिंदुस्तानी का अप्रोच अलग है, दोनों जो प्रकार है, कोई भी प्रकार एक दूसरे से कम नहीं है, एक दूसरे से ज्यादा नहीं है. बोथ आर अमेजिंग फॉर्म ऑफ म्यूजिक, बट द अप्रोच गेट्स टोटली डिफरेंट. अगर लाइट म्यूजिक अगर आपको गाना है तो हिंदुस्तानी जो क्लासिकल है दैट हेल्प्स मोर. कभी आपको गजल कुछ कोशिश करना है तो द हिंदुस्तानी training helps more. But if you want to get into a little sargam space, the Carnatic school helps more. But both are equally, I wouldn't say complex, but very beautiful. But if you can study both and blend in your own style, I think एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत सा एक space है वो, when you get both incorporated beautifully.
How amazing. It's so brilliant. The thing that I really like is that the diversity that we have within South Asia in terms of music, in terms of the sounds, and in terms of the association of that music with that land. It's so visual. and you just describe it so beautifully. So that's great. But we have a tradition here in in this program, and which I picked up from this wonderful interviewer. We like to get one request from our artist for our next artist. So.
Wow. And
आपसे request है our next artist is Shafqat Imanat Ali Khan. So we would love to request you something which you would like him to sing for you.
I'm a huge fan of his music, and there's so many songs, but still there's one song that everybody would love to listen to, and that is Mitwa. And I would request Shafqat Imanat to sing Mitwa if possible, and I would love to hear it. In fact, I'm going to join your next session especially so that I can get to listen to him. And of course, I love watching you guys do anything, because everything that you do is so artistic and so beautiful.
Thank you so much. But I've got so many people who are, Nilia Suri Lal is there, Hiba Farooq is there, and Jasman Rathore says the way syllabus comes out in Dravidian languages is just beautiful. And then we had Samit Ahuja, and our chair Shafali Ranjan is also there. Oh my God, Abhay Gupta is there. She's loving the composition. Hemant and Vishali Pamar are there. These are honestly, these are such great fans of your music and for the support of our organization as well. And for Jasman Rathore, he wants to listen to, everyone needs to listen to his Oru Kari Mugilinu from Malayalam film Charlie. Can we have few lines for Jasman Rathore?
Yeah, that's Malayalam एक ऐसा language है जो मुझे बहुत पसंद है, पर I find it very difficult to sing in Malayalam. Just that, but I will try to sing 2 lines. Oru kari mogilinu chiragugal ruliya minnale Pudumara malarugal vidariya kurumuvi thinnale Veyilil niraluvo marayum mayaya Viralal shilayilum kulirelum uravagal eludi idu valiyagalu maro avanedo maya jalam yaro avanaro kanum swapnam oru kari mugilinu chiragugal minnale pudumala malarugal vidariya kurumuvi.
Oh, beautiful. Sounds so lovely. It sounds so lovely. So beautiful. अच्छा मुझे ये बताओ, इंडिया तो खैर अपना घर है. Outside of India, what's your favorite place to vacation and to visit?
मतलब I think मेरा ऐसे मन में ऐसे कभी मैंने बांधा नहीं अपने आप को कि ये जगह खूबसूरत है, ये जगह कम खूबसूरत है. जहाँ भी हम गए हैं, because every place has its own history, its own tradition, its own struggles, its own तो हर जगह मतलब every country wants to be the most developed country. Having said that, everybody has their own story, their own past, their own history, and everybody is struggling in their own way. तो हर जगह को मैं अपना मानता हूँ. जहाँ भी मैं जाता हूँ, I love to be a part of that culture, that tradition. And I love traveling, and especially my wife and my daughter, they also love traveling. So we have covered a lot of places. But अगर आपका मतलब जो सवाल है उसका अगर जवाब मुझे देना है, तो हमें मतलब ऑस्ट्रेलिया बहुत पसंद आया था. जब हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए थे, ऑलमोस्ट तकरीबन हम वहाँ पर 20-25 दिन हमने गुजारे. तो जगह इतनी बड़ी है, and the population density is so less, so it's so much of nature. And apart from Australia, Iceland was another place that we really loved being, because वहाँ पर तो it's, as I said, it's a part of untouched part of this planet. शायद planet को भगवान ने बनाया था तो शायद उसी प्रकार था. It is so untouched. So that's a beautiful part of this planet. We love being in Iceland. Otherwise, as I said, I love every place, every tradition, and everybody.
I know. Music-wise, outside of India, what kind of music do you like other than the Indian music? Do you any preference, anything which you listen to when you are, exercising or something?
Daughter, of course, and also thanks to the internet, now there's an opportunity that everybody can connect to whichever part of the world and whatever music that they want to listen to. But my daughter, because my daughter lives in Europe, and अभी तो वो यहाँ पर आई हैं because of this COVID, she is here. But she keeps sharing her, music song list, and it has all kinds of music from rap to R&B to everything, and it also has a lot of Indian numbers that she likes to listen to. So it's a nice mix of everything that I get to listen to. So I think currently R&B is something that I'm listening to, and Sufi to of course हमें बहुत पसंद है, सब सुनते ही हैं. And गुलाम अली को कभी-कभी मतलब गजल का जो एक मन आ गया तो गुलाम अली साहब, जगजीत सिंह साहब, and of course मेरे गुरु सुरेश वाडकर जी. बस
उर्दू कैसे सीखी, हिंदी कैसे सीखी?
वो तो मतलब जब मैं मैसूर से मुंबई गया था 95-96 में, तो मतलब लोग लिटरली हंसते थे बिकॉज मुझे जेंडर सेपरेशन भी नहीं आता था. मैं लड़की को आरे मतलब माय जेंडर मैं सब मिक्स कर देता था. और मतलब मेरे जितने भी दोस्त थे जो हंस रहे थे मेरे साथ, उन्होंने ही मुझे संभाला. जो दोस्त हंस रहे थे उन्होंने ही मुझे सिखाया. उन्होंने कहा कि इसको लड़की अगर आ रही है तो तुम उनको ऐसे बुलाते हो, लड़के अगर आ रहे हैं तो उनको ऐसे बुलाते हो. तो it was a great set of friends who helped me to understand. Of course, I'm not an expert, but still I love languages, so I'm generally a linguistic guy. मैं सारेगामापा जो शो है Z पर, I judge in Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, all three languages.
I know.
So I speak all three languages. I sing in Marathi. I've sung for some movies, and Hindi I manage. English थोड़ा सा manage कर लेता हूँ. So languages is something. I'm generally a linguistic guy, and I love languages.
Excellent. But you were singing a little bit of Ghulam Ali Sahab and of course Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Sahab. How do you work on your pronunciation? Because this is one problem I have with Indian singers, that they do not pronounce the words properly because there are so many ze or jim ka farak jo hai that becomes. So how do you get your?
I think talking about Indian singers, of course there are a lot of singers who are perfect in their diction, who present it beautifully. But if you talk about somebody coming from a particular region, then they have their own strong roots in them of their mother tongue. So वहाँ से निकल के अगर किसी और लैंग्वेज में गाना हो तो it is a little struggle. But having said that, at the end of the day, what is music? It's about an expression. Of course एक लहजा जो होता है किसी भी लैंग्वेज का वो बहुत जरूरी होता है, but beyond that, it's an emotion that you want to convey. It's a story that you want to convey. And har baar, it's not about pronunciation. It's about it's not about pronunciation all the time. It's about the content. It's about the context, not just the text. It's the context. And what you want to convey through your song is what something that is very beautifully that artists try to. And after a point, I disconnect myself. I connect to the music because मैं हमेशा मानता हूँ कि सरगम गाते हुए भी आप किसी कहानी को you can present a story by singing just sargam. You don't need lyrics all the time. You can just convey an emotion through alap.
While working with Suresh Wadekar ji, what kind of songs do you think his influence? Where do you think his influence worked in your performance, even as a mature performer now?
सुरेश जी का एक मतलब जो सिखाने का जो तरीका है वो बहुत खूबसूरत है. वो मतलब वो ऐसे हमको बिठा के वो रियाज करते थे और वो कहते थे कि मेरे साथ तुम सुनो और रियाज करो. ऐसा उसको एकदम मतलब ऐसा कि टेक्स्ट बुक में जैसे सिखाते हैं वैसा नहीं है. इट्स अ वेरी प्रैक्टिकल लर्निंग. तो मैं जब उनके पास गया था तो मेरा अंदाज गाने का was a little raw. But listening to him, and I have to also mention about his sister Prem Vasan ji, जो जिस बात पे आपने जोर दिया, and she used to be very particular. She used to say, pronunciation बहुत important होता है, and she used to, and Suresh ji is known to sing in Urdu or Marathi or Hindi with 100% perfection, and I think Didi used to work on that. एंड कहीं ना कहीं एक सबकॉन्शियस लेवल पे ना ये भी जहन में एक बात थी कि वर्ड्स अल्फाज जो होते हैं उसे ख़राब ना करें, उसको कोशिश करें कि जितना आप उसको सही ढंग से गा सकते हो, because there are people, as you rightly said, who love to listen to the words also, not they love to follow the story behind the, and एक writer का भी एक होता है, somebody who's written the song also has an imagination, so we can't spoil that. So Didi used to help me with that, and Suresh used to help me with the singing, and it was a beautiful, and I still learn from them. The learning never stops.
Amazing. खुदा आपके उस्तादों को सलामत रखे, आप लोगों को सलामत रखे. Hemant Pawar was just asking these questions which you just answered, and I'm really looking at these wonderful compliments for you, which you will read later on. Because we are reaching that point where I'll have to wrap up. I am so enjoying talking to you, but I think there is something that you would like to share with us, some new song that you have worked on, and we would love to listen to a bit of that, please.
Yeah, before I end this conversation, I would love to sing that song. But having said that, Mosaic Festival has completed 15 years, and it's not a joke. To do one day, one concert takes so much of effort. You guys have been doing this for so many years, and your team, as I mentioned, of course, you and Arshad, I think it comes from you both. You both are so nice and warm, and you really love to take care of people and be good to them. And I think it flows from there to your whole team, that they all want to do a good job. And the proof is there when we stand and sing. The thousands of audience who come because they know Mosaic will do something extraordinary. So thank you for building such an amazing reputation, not just for the festival, but for the artists who come there and perform. And I'm really looking forward to be there again sometime soon.
Inshallah.
But for now, before I say bye-bye to all you lovely people, there's a song that I wrote. I think people will connect to these times, because I just felt वैसे कुछ लोग इसको अच्छा समय मान रहे हैं कि उनको लगता है कि यार अच्छा है कि हमें बाकी बहुत सारी चीज़ें करने को टाइम मिला, और हम नेचर को और ज़्यादा खिलते हुए हम देख रहे हैं कि नेचर इज़ रियली बिकमिंग मोर प्रीटियर. इट वाज ऑलवेज प्रीटी, बट आई थिंक समवेयर वी वर काइंड ऑफ डैमेजिंग इट, बट नाउ इट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल टाइम फॉर नेचर. तो पर कहीं ना कहीं कुछ लोग होते हैं, कुछ लोग शायद हैं जो इस समय को ना बहुत ऐसा उनको लग रहा है कि ये अंत है, कि दिस इज द एंड ऑफ द होल जर्नी ऑफ लाइफ. फॉर देम आई वांटेड टू जस्ट से थ्रू माय सॉन्ग दैट बॉस सब उसी के बंदे हैं, हम सब उसी के बंदे हैं. व्हाई वुड ही बी अनफेयर टू वन एंड गुड टू अनदर पर्सन? वी ऑल आर वॉकिंग द सेम जर्नी. द स्टोरी कुड बी डिफरेंट, बट द जर्नी इज ऑल द सेम. एंड दिस इज द सॉन्ग दैट आई रोट माई सेल्फ, and I would love to sing it tonight. And thank you, Mosaic. This is especially for people who sometimes suddenly take some drastic steps in life. I want to tell them, "Oh, jaane wale sun, ruk ja zara. ऐसी क्या जल्दी है, थम जा जरा. तुम अपने दिल से अगर सोचो तो समझोगे, सब अपने ही है यहाँ, कोई न पराया. हो जाने वाले सुन, रुक जा जरा. ऐसी क्या जल्दी है, थम जा जरा. तुम अपने दिल से अगर सोचो तो समझोगे, सब अपने ही हैं यहाँ, कोई न पराया. हो जाने वाले सुन रुक जा जरा रुक जा जरा रुक जा जरा कल किसने देखा है कल किसने जाना है जो होगा अच्छा होगा बस हिम्मत से चलना है क्यों अपनी नाव को खुद ही डुबोते हो क्यों डर से जिंदगी का सौदा कर जाते हो जाने वाले सुन रुक जा जरा जो तेरा मालिक है वही सबका मालिक है ना कोई आगे पीछे सब तेरे साथ है तन्हा क्यों जीते हो तन्हा क्यों चलते हो तन्हा क्यों रोते हो लिख कर कहानी अधूरी क्यों छोड़ जाते हो जाने वाले सुन रुक जा जरा ऐसी क्या जल्दी है थम जा जरा तुम अपने दिल से अगर सोचो तो समझोगे सब अपने ही है यहाँ कोई न पराया हो जाने वाले सुन रुक जा जरा रुक जा जरा रुक जा जरा
Thank you so much. It was so beautiful, so heart-touching, and so relevant. Thank you so much. This would be the swan song for 2020 for me. I can assure you that. Thank you so much.
You can get this. I mean, you can go on YouTube and find this song. It's called Ruk Ja Zara. And thank you so much for what the Mosaic does. It brings people from different countries, from all over Southeast Asia. And you bring people under one feeling, one emotion, and that is to stay united. And that's exactly what you guys do in Toronto. And you feature artists from every part of Asia, from Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh, and you have your own talent from Sri Lanka, who also from Toronto, who can come and perform. And keep doing this great work and keep you guys.
Thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you to your friend who is here with us. Your compliment. Thanks a lot. God bless you. And we will see you soon, inshallah. Meanwhile, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for TD Mosaic Noon Talks. This was my wonderful, beautiful friend, Vijay Prakash, who was here with us today. We will be back on Monday with the legendary artist from Pakistan, Shafqat Imanat Ali Khan. So please do join us for TD Mosaic Noon Talks, which is presented by TD Bank, which is supported by Canada Council, Ontario Arts Council, Heritage Canada, Factor Canada, Province of Ontario, Celebrate Ontario Grant, City of Mississauga, Culture Division, and our sponsors, Greenwich Health Products and Laziz Shawarma. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys on Monday. Ciao.
Music brings us together, even when we're apart. That's why we support Canadian musicians, festivals, and award shows. It's just one of the ways TD's Ready commitment helps build a more inclusive tomorrow.
Premium quality hand sanitizer is now available from Greenish, the brand you trust. It is made with 75% food-grade ethanol and is approved by Health Canada. For further information, visit your neighborhood pharmacy or www.greenish.com.